Musician Spotlight. April is Arab American Heritage Month, so today we'll be featuring Arabic music. Arabic music has a very long history, so I will do my best to highlight a few things for you and a couple of specific artists. Huge shout out to Miss Armoudi from the Outreach Department at HSA for helping me put together this video today. The word Arabic generally refers to the language or describing something of Arab origin, like Arabic food or Arabic music. If you're talking about a person, you would call them Arab.
There are 22 countries in the Arab League in Northern Africa and the Middle East, which includes the Arabian Peninsula. A few of the Arabic countries you may have heard of: Egypt, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Yemen, Somalia, Sudan, and more.
Arabic is a very beautiful language. To me, the writing looks like beautiful paintbrush strokes.
Arabic is the official language of 26 countries and one of the 6 official languages of the United Nations. There are several dialects of the Arabic language, meaning slightly different versions of it spoken in various regions. There are roughly 422 million Arabic speakers in the world. Most people in the Arab world practice the religion of Islam. If you follow Islam, you are called Muslim. Not all Arab people are Muslim. Christianity is the second largest religion in the Arab League countries.
The history of Arabic music starts all the way back in the 5th century AD. That was over 1,000 years ago, so I won't be able to go over everything here, but the main characteristics of Arabic music are
a set of tones called the makam system, flourishing ornamentation, and the sound of the instruments that are native to the region. One reason that the makam tonal system sounds different from our Western music system is that it uses pitches called quarter tones. Western music uses semitones.
Okay, in super simple terms, in Western music, to go from here to here, in between those two notes, there's a half step or a semitone, like this. Do, do, do. If you've ever seen a piano, essentially that half step is the black key on the piano in between the two white keys. But in the Arabic makam tonal system, there's another pitch in between the first one I sang and the semitone. I don't even think I can demonstrate it. It's not something that I learned growing up, so it's not something that's really in my musical brain. When you hear it in this example, it'll kind of sound like sliding in between notes because there's something in between what our Western culture ears are used to hearing. This use of quarter tones leads us to the second characteristic of Arabic music, and that is flourishing ornamentation. Ornamentation is when the musician adds a little something to the notes, like trills or shakes or grace notes, like this. A trill, ah, or a shake, ah, or a grace note, ah. This very elaborate and ornamented style is very characteristic of Arabic singing.
The instruments of the Arab world have a distinct sound and have different characteristics based on the region. These include the oud, related to the guitar with 12 strings instead of 6, the kanun, related to the harp, rabab, which looks like a guitar but can also be played with a bow, the ney, a wind instrument like a mix between a recorder and a flute, and doumbek, a kind of hand drum. Modern Arabic music does include more traditionally Western instruments as well, like violins or cellos. There is also Arabic pop music with electric guitars and keyboards mixed with the traditional instruments like oud.
Now, to give you just a taste of the diversity of Arabic music, Miss Armudi helped me put together a list of a few musicians that run the gamut of different regions in the Arab world. The first two are absolute queens and icons of Arabic music. They are Fairuz from Lebanon and Kulthum from Egypt. These two women have a lot of influence in the Arab world, and they are considered the greatest of all time.
First, we have singer Fairuz from Lebanon. Fairuz is her stage name. She was born Nuad Wadia Haddad in 1934. She is still alive today at 86 years old. Her first song, released in 1952, became a major hit, and she would go on to be known as the Soul of Lebanon. In this clip of her song, Sa'aluni El Nas, you can hear the distinctive Arabic instruments as well as the ornamenting shakes and trills she does with her voice. Our next singer is from Egypt, a national icon of that country named Kulthum. Also known as the Voice of Egypt, Kulthum was born in 1904 as Fatima Ibrahim Asayed el-Beltagi. She learned to sing at a young age from her father and brother. She even learned to play the oud. She was discovered when she was 16 years old, and her career grew and grew from there. The 1940s and 50s are considered the golden age of career. Voice is deeper than other women's voices, so it has a nice richness to it. In Western culture terms, she could be compared to an opera singer who typically has a bigger voice. Is no longer alive. She died in 1975. Side note, Fairuz and Kulthum did know each other. Here they are together. The genre of Arabic music that they both sing is called tarab. It consists of an ensemble of various instruments that range from violins to more traditional Arabic instruments like the oud. The main focus of tarab style is on the music itself and on the lyrics of the song. It's like sung poetry. Some tarab songs last literally 30 to 40 minutes. Some of Kulthum's songs were really that long. Fairuz's songs were a little bit shorter, and she kind of modernized the style for audiences. Our next singer was born in Baghdad, Iraq. His name is Majid al-Mohandes. He was born in 1971 and is still alive today. As a famous pop singer, he is known to have a voice of diamond. You'll hear the more pop sound, but also with the traditional vocal style in this song called Wa Heyama.
واهيما قلبي اللي من هوا واهيما هام في حبك وجاب المستحيل عاقد النية صدوق لك دوا عاقد النية والهوى غيرك فلا عمره يمين.
This is Khaled, a Rai singer from Algeria. Rai is a form of traditional Algerian music that became prominent in the 1920s and is still popular today. The lyrics of Rai usually talk about social issues, effects of European colonialism, and cultural expression. Rai blends traditional North African Arabic music styles along with some Western song styles. Born in 1960 and still alive today, Khaled is also known as Cheb Khaled. Cheb is a title meaning young in Arabic that is given to Rai singers. Khaled would ultimately be known as the King of Rai. The song you're hearing now is called Didi. It was the song that launched him into being a superstar. I hope you'll notice that there's a more modern, upbeat feel with drums, bass, and even saxophone. But you can still hear the quarter tone bends in his voice and the Arabic rhythms.
Alright everyone, that was a lot for one video, but I hope you've learned a little bit more about Arabic music, gotten a taste for the sound, and maybe you'll check out a few more Arabic songs on YouTube. Again, a huge shout out to Miss Armoudi for helping me put this video together today. Happy Arab American Heritage Month, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
بستانس وبونسكم طقوا رقبه هزوا الخصر خلونا نسهر ونغني للفجر الله الله